All right, Anytime Fitness, here we go. Day 9, online working out. Today we're gonna go over core, okay? We'll highlight some muscles that tend to be imbalanced, that make it really difficult for people to get the results that they're looking for, that they're working so hard for. But aside from that, I'm just gonna give you 4 or 5 of my favorite core exercises where I feel the best work being done. And other than that, please remember that we're doing the Talk to Your Trainer on Zoom, and that's, I believe, at 1 o'clock. So jump on if you have any questions about the exercises I've already gone over, any of the musculature, anything like that, anything that you're experiencing and you're like, it sounds like you talked about it, but could you just clarify? So feel free to jump on. All right, here we go, core. So one of the first exercises I want to talk about, and one of my very favorite exercises, probably because I have probably a mild, I don't know, maybe it's severe case of lordosis, is called a suitcase, okay? You lay back and go into a tabletop position, right? Your whole goal here is to tap your heels, but keep your lower back on the ground, right? If you're dropping your legs in a leg lift or anything like that, and you can fit your hand underneath your lower back, you're gonna have issues. You're not gonna get the results you want, okay? You're not gonna get the pump you're expecting, and it's all because when you lift that lower back, okay, your hip flexors engage. First off, it's telling you, I have tight hip flexors, all right? Second, it should be telling you, if you're doing it anyways, you're going through this workout anyways, you're primarily working your hip flexors and your rectus femoris, right? We've talked about that before. So, suitcase, lower back stays down, and you tap the heels. It's a very focused exercise. Mentally, you have to be here, okay? You can see in your core the work being done, and you'll feel it, you'll feel it. And as you feel more comfortable, that's when you can start to straighten out your legs a little bit, put more resistance. But again, keep your lower back on the ground. Suitcases. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and peel away some of these surface abdominal muscles so that we can look at those muscles that, when overactive, can take away from the work you think you're getting when you're doing your core, okay? I'm gonna zoom in a little bit here and take a look at the psoas major muscle, okay? The iliacus, and zooming in a little bit more, the psoas minor. Tends to be insignificant, but it can be problematic given that there's a ton of nerves, which aren't pictured here, that can get interrupted, as well as your rectus femoris and your sartorius, okay? So I want to look at the psoas major again, turn a little sideways, and maybe fade these other things out so you can see that it attaches to your lumbar vertebrae transverse processes. When that muscle is overly tight, okay, your leg is standing still. It's not gonna move when it's standing on the ground, so something has to give when that muscle's overly tight, and that's typically going to be the lumbar vertebrae. That's why people get lordosis, or at least one reason why lordosis happens for a lot of people. For the next one, very simple. Core isn't just front. We're gonna go over some back, all right? Very, very simple. We've done this before, okay? But I want you to really focus on the lower back, okay? So, from your tabletop position, back stay straight, head up. You're just going to reach opposite hand and foot, and at the top, pause, and really isolate that contraction in the lower back, okay? And you're just switching off. Opposite hand, foot, reach from a tabletop position, okay? Very simple, but done correctly, very, very useful, okay? From here, all we're gonna do is flip over to our back again. This time, our feet go straight up in the air, okay? Flexibility is gonna be challenged here for some of us, okay? Down's okay, but try to get it up as best you can. And you're just reaching to the opposite foot with the opposite hand. All right? Opposite foot, hand crunches with the legs up. All right, so finally I just want to take a look at these lower back erector muscles, okay? When you're doing your tabletop position and you're reaching forward with one hand and the opposite foot's kicking back, these ones right here that I'm getting rid of, those are the ones you're working, okay? Just wanted to give you a visual.
Okay, last two exercises that I really enjoy are gonna focus on the obliques as well as just a full core isometric workout, okay? So from here, getting in the side plank, all right, hips have to be up off the ground and you can just dip, all right? Put your hand on your obliques, make sure you're feeling that. It's easy to go through this and push with your arm and neglect your core, okay? Don't do that. Switch sides, do both sides. And lastly, just a simple plank, all right? But lots of variations from a plank position. You can bounce your hips side to side, working your obliques, stretching your quadratus lumborum, which I'll highlight, okay? And you can raise, drop slow, down, up, down, up. The one thing I want you to focus on that movement is sternum, pubic bone, closer, further away. That's all the abs do, right? When people do cable pull downs and they're doing this and they're moving the arms, they're not getting it. All it is those 2 points closer together, further apart. Cool? Core, day 9.
All right, so I want to take a look at the back, and one of the muscles that I mentioned was the quadratus lumborum, which is something that you will feel, or you can feel when you're doing your planks and dipping your hips side to side, okay? This is sometimes called the hip hiker muscle, or the QL. It attaches to your bottom rib and the superior surface of your hips. Okay, we'll turn it sideways so you can kind of get a better look at that. I'll turn it here and there just so you can see the muscle. But when this is overly tight, you can sometimes get a leg that is a little bit longer than another. And that's hugely problematic when you don't know that it's happening. A lot of issues start to come up that you wouldn't even tie to this muscle unless you knew about it. So when you're doing those hips, try to stretch this out a little bit. Go deep and stretch that out. It will help you immensely.